Welcome back in. Today we're discussing Bijan Robinson and why I think that he should be the number one running back off the board this year. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, in 2024, Bijan Robinson finished as the RB3, but he was one of two running backs to score 10 plus fantasy points in all of his games last year. But he didn't have a game with 20 plus points until week 6. He was the only running back with double digit games of 20 or more points last season. So he ranked top 5 in carries, targets, and red zone touches. He finished with 1,400 rushing yards, 400 receiving yards, 15 touchdowns, and averaged 20.1 fantasy points per game. He was super efficient with his touches. He ranked third in missed tackle force per attempt and top 15 in both yards created and yards per touch last season. He was a demon in the passing game last year, finishing with a 13% target share and 6th in route participation. Now, from weeks 1 through 5, like I mentioned, he only averaged 13.5 fantasy points per game. But from week 6 on, he was the RB2, averaging 23 fantasy points per game. There's a lot to like here with this offense as well. They're bringing back one of the best offensive lines. They ranked 6th best last year in adjusted line yards, and PFF has them as the 8th best offensive line heading into 2025, despite losing Drew Dalman. However, they will be bringing back the highest rated guard in all of football last season, Chris Lindstrom, as well as veterans Jake Matthews and Caleb McGarry on the outside, and second-year guard Matthew Bergeron took a big step forward last year as well. So there's a lot to like here with this offensive line. We'll have to see with Michael Penix, who's only started a few games in his career, but I don't think that could get any worse than what Kirk Cousins' experiment was. And Kirk Cousins is still there as well. I think when you look at Bijan Robinson and this situation that he is in, I think he checks all the boxes we're looking for. He's heavily involved in the passing game. He has a tremendous offensive line. And so I just think he really takes another step forward this year and really builds off the season that he had last year, especially the slow start that he had through the first 5 games. And I think he maintains that throughout the entirety of the season. Now, I think there's an argument to be made for Jahmyr Gibbs and Saquon Barkley. I think they're all very close and where I would have them. I just give the lean to Bijan Robinson because when you look at Saquon Barkley, he had a massive amount of touches last year, nearly 500 touches. And if you just look through history, since 2011 at running backs that had 400 plus touches, the following season, the average finish is RB11 for those guys. And only one running back has finished with a top 5 season, back-to-back season after that kind of a workload, and that was Ezekiel Elliott. And so for me, I think it really does worry me a little bit here with Saquon Barkley, especially somebody that has dealt with injuries in his past. Now, don't get me wrong, the offensive line is still tremendous in Philadelphia. This team is still going to run the ball a lot. I do think that we're going to see them get a little bit more pass heavy than they were last year. I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous how few they really threw the ball last year. I think with a new offensive coordinator, I think we do see this offense throw a little bit more than they did last year. And you're always going to have Jalen Hurts taking, some of the goal line work away from him. Tush push is still available to this offense, but I just think there's a little bit of red flags here with Saquon Barkley, at least more than what Bijan Robinson has. And then when you have Jahmyr Gibbs, who's also heavily involved in the passing game, I do have a little bit more question marks for this offensive line this year. How is it going to function? What is it going to look like? We'll see on that. And you still have David Montgomery here in this backfield that is going to be competing and probably splitting touches with him, or at very least, probably a 65% split for Gibbs, David Montgomery taking the rest of that. So I just think Bijan has the clearest run out this year to be the number one running back in fantasy football. He checks every box, like I said. He's going to be heavily involved in the run game. He's going to be the goal line back. He's going to be heavily involved in the passing game. And when you put all that together, I think he puts together a monster season this year and finishes as the RB1. So for me, he is my RB1 this year. He's the guy that I'm going to be targeting early in drafts if I want to go the running back position. So let me know in the comment section below. Are you on the Jahmyr Gibbs or Saquon Barkley train, or are you with me on Bijan Robinson? Let me know in the comment section below. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.